Billy Joel is many things: a songwriter, a musician, a piano man, and
You are the father.
that's right, Billy Joel is my dad's favorite musician, with the last name Joel. Probably. I don't know. I've never asked. Joel is an excellent musician with a fantastic range of music, and I think his best album is The Stranger. It just has an incredible array of hits on it.
Wow, it's very nice.
So, to match this incredible album, I decided I had to make a rather incredible meal, and so I made a pasta, a nice, delicious spaghetti inspired by the music on this album. And so, come on, let's watch some Rigaman Foods. Join me in my Italian restaurant for some spaghetti inspired by Billy Joel's The Stranger. So we put some water in the pot. Not so hard, we just use water from the sink. Everybody has a sink in their house. If they don't, they definitely aren't cooking any recipes as far as I'm concerned. Or they live in Flint, Michigan. I don't know. Anyways, let's put some more salt in here. Let's make it like a sand. So just ocean water, seawater, lots and lots of salt, and just some olive oil here. A little bit for flavor and a little bit to keep the noodles separate, but I've actually heard it's a myth. Then we're going to cut open some hot Italian sausages here. These are some zesty ones, so we're just going to take the casings off of them. And then we're going to cut up, mash up, and cook the meat. Meanwhile, our noodles are of course boiling in that water. While those are both cooking, we can start to talk about the album a little bit, and what an album this is. I consider this to be Billy Joel's best work. The Stranger is his 1977's album, and Billy Joel is an excellent artist who's prominent throughout the 70s, 80s, and even a little bit in the 90s, and he continues to tour to this day, of course, but this is his peak moment in my opinion. This is the best album he's ever released. It has, in my opinion, the most good songs on it, the best hits, the greatest sound, and it really shows his diverse range. For example, She's Always a Woman, which is a favorite of mine, is incredibly sweet.
She can kill with a smile, she can wound with her eyes, she can ruin your faith with her casual lie.
It nails these lyrics well, but it also gets these sort of backwards jabs, describing a woman who's sort of nasty to everybody.
She steals like a thief, but she's always a woman to me.
But still just a woman to him, someone he's in love with. It's quite beautiful.
Never gives out, and she never gives in. She just changes her mind.
And witty, that's the word I was looking for. It's a witty song. The lyrics are witty. He has an excellent wit.
Promise you more than the Garden of Eden, and she'll carelessly cut you, laugh while you're bleeding.
Damn. It's kind of like Just the Way You Are in the way it sounds, but I'd say Just the Way You Are is a slightly more boring take.
I took the good times, I'll take the bad times, I take you just the way you are.
I really like the caliber and just quality of the lyrics and wordplay. Only the Good Die Young is again fantastic for its wordplay.
Now Virginia, don't any wait. You can't let the girl start much too late. Sooner or later, comes down to fate. Might as well be the one.
I really like how this song sounds. What else can I say?
You got a nice white dress and a body on your confirmation.
I think it's just one of the most rock and roll-y feeling songs, so it always stuck with me as a kid.
I'm only the good die young. That's what I say. Only the good die young.
When and that was more what I was listening to, and in time I've come to appreciate the lyrics and so much more about it.
Well, they told you that, told you to pray, built you a temple and locked you away. They never told you the price that you pay for things that you might have done. Only the good die young.
I also love Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, and I'd say this is my favorite song on the album.
A bottle of white, a bottle of red, perhaps a bottle of rosé instead.
Vienna.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid?
Like, I know a lot of people love that song. The other songs on this album, of course, including that one, they're all good. But Scenes from an Italian Restaurant really is just this masterpiece. It's got about 3 songs in one. It talks about this Italian restaurant, and it just brings you right into this beautiful scene. You're right there.
I'll meet you anytime you want in our Italian restaurant.
Just enjoying yourself at this restaurant. It's quite nice. And then the music changes and it takes you away and it starts talking about his life, where he's at.
Things are okay with me these days. Got a good job, I got a good office, I got a new wife, got a new life, and the family is fine.
Things sound great, and then it starts telling you the story about this couple, Brenda and Eddie.
Brenda and Eddie were the popular steadies and the king and the queen of the prom.
And all the way to you get to see them get married. And
everyone said they were crazy. Brenda, you know that you're much too lazy, and Eddie could never afford to live that kind of life. Oh, but there we were waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye.
Ultimately divorce, and
they got a divorce as a matter of course, and they parted the closest of friends.
Even years later, and
Brenda and Eddie had had it already by the summer of '75. The height of the low to the end of the show for the rest of their lives.
And then we fade back into this beautiful Italian restaurant. It's really quite fantastic.
Bottle of reds, ooh, bottle of whites. Whatever kind of mood you're in tonight.
It is an all-time favorite song of mine. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is, above all else, what inspired this recipe. I think he has a sort of elegance to his voice that means it had to be a fancy presentation, something nice like that. But above all else, it really is just this song that inspired this to be an Italian pasta dish. Speaking of which, we've got to get back to making our pasta, so we're going to check on our noodles. They're coming along nicely. We're going to look at our meat. It looks pretty much cooked now from where I'm at. So we're going to try and break up these sausage pieces best we can. Make sure it looks really finely ground. Meanwhile, our noodles totally done and ready. Not quite. So we're going to get our tomatoes. These are sliced tomatoes stewed in sauce, and we're just going to pour that all right into the meat that's just been cooked. We're going to turn it up to a slightly higher heat, and we're just going to allow the tomato juice to kind of boil out of that best we can. Meanwhile, we're going to chop up an onion into some nice cuts and just put that right in our pasta sauce. Then we're going to grab some baby spinach. This is great for sauteing. And we're just going to put a not massive, but a large handful in there. It will shrink a lot. It really shrinks down quickly and just incorporates itself rather easily. It's really good for sauteing, which is what we're doing with this sauce right here, if that wasn't clear and evident. So now we've got lots of spinach, lots of onions, lots of tomatoes, and lots of ground meat in this delicious, basic, easy saute sauce. with the tomato sauce acting, of course, as the sauce base, which will coat our spaghetti quite nice in a delicious tomatoey flavor. Now we're going to grab some garlic, and we're just going to put a scoop of that in there too. 2 scoops. It's boiling right now, it's at quite a high heat, and we're just going to mix in this garlic for a lot of flavor. Garlic tastes great with spaghetti, obviously. If you weren't aware of that, you gotta eat more spaghetti. We're going to cut up a red pepper and put that in. Red peppers are just a personal favorite of mine. This is a red bell pepper. It's sweet, it's crisp, they're quite tasty. Then we're just pouring in some red wine vinegar. This will add a lot of nice flavor to it. The red wine vinegar goes exquisitely with this, as well as a bit of red wine. We're pouring in some olive oil now. And last but not least, we're going to cut up some cauliflower and put that in here. I believe that's the last vegetable we'll be incorporating into the sauce. Cauliflower has a much more mild taste and flavor and can be excluded, of course, but I thought I added to it, so here you go. Now your sauce is pretty much complete, which of course means it's time to talk some more about Billy Joel himself, the man, the myth, the absolute living legend who is Billy Joel. I don't think he actually really revolutionized anything, but he definitely took things to some fantastic places. And a lot of people were probably thinking you didn't mention Piano Man. I didn't mention Piano Man because it's not on this album. Piano Man is, of course, the hit that Billy Joel is by far the most well known for.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright.
In fact, Piano Man is his nickname as a result of the incredible success of this fantastic song. But this song is not on the album, and I don't think it's his best. I think his career is just so diverse and wide-ranging that you could really pick up just about any album he's released and you would know the hit from it.
Oh, but working too hard can give you a heart attack. You wanna know by now.
Which is simply incredible. His music has stayed alive for a very long time. It continues to get radio play on rock radio and whatnot to this day. And he is just a beautiful sounding guy. I love the way his voice sounds, and it's very impressive that he continues to tour and has just been in the game for so long.
It's 9 o'clock on Saturday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, begging to his tonic and juice.
And with that, I've got to get back to cooking the recipe. Our sauce is done, our noodles are looking perfect. I've just got to put them together now. So here we go, putting our al dente noodles, which is just very nice. And we're putting it right in the pasta, and then we're kind of just stirring it together. We're mixing it directly in the sauce. The technique in the title just means to mingle, which is exactly what we've done here. Now we have it all nice and mingled together, so we're going to put at the bottom of our bowl some delicious baby spinach. I quite enjoy the taste of baby spinach. I think it's nice and mostly just watery, which is good. So I put that on the base, then I grabbed me some of this delicious spaghetti, and I just spooled it up like so it looked all nice and decorative for presentation, and just because it looks delicious like that, I put some Parmesan on it, some Italiano seasoning, and we're good to go. As far as I'm concerned, that's that. That is our delicious pasta inspired by Billy Joel's The Stranger. Let's get a look at that. Man, it tasted delicious, it looked good. This was all around an incredible dish. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Just delicious spaghetti inspired by Billy Joel's album The Stranger. Make sure you tune in for my next episode. It's going to be delicious yet again, and make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and check out my previous episodes for other recipes I made. Last time, I made a delicious full meal based off the White Album by the Beatles, which is an all-time favorite album of mine for sure. So make sure you check that out because the meal is quite delicious. We dig up steaks, we dig up potatoes, we dig up celery root puree, and we even dig up some candied carrots. So do not miss that with gravy.